So I want to speak to you because you are a chef, and I feel that people want to hear a chef from a nursery and things that they can do. So give me a brief outline of what you're doing early years. How does it differ from home cooking, like spag bol with loads of seasoning and paprika and nice things?
So the difference from working with the preschoolers and say at home is the fact that you have to be more like, can't just be willy-nilly with seasonings and things like that. So I have to work with a kind of a strict code of ingredients and whatnot.
And no seasoning?
Well, seasoning that we're allowed to use. I can't just use anything. It has to be approved by the company.
Is this for all nurseries?
No, I think nowadays, probably, I would say more than likely, because of a lot of allergies now, you have to be a lot more careful. And I find that parents nowadays, they're a bit more, they're not as willing to try kids out with certain foods. A bit more as well, some of them are a bit more internet based. They'd rather look on the internet and see.
Do they do that?
Yeah, a lot of them
Parents
do.
Look on the
Yeah, a
internet?
lot. And they'll come back and say, oh, they say that this such and such is in a certain thing, so can't eat it. So I will suggest, okay, fair enough, but maybe speak to your doctor, and we'll go from there.
So you get parents that are just going online, and then what kind of stuff are these searching for?
so-
My child is 1'5",
So
blonde. Can they have dairy?
Yeah,
Because that's all it is. It's dairies,
well,
isn't
you'd
it?
think so.
Dairies.
So they look on the, like, for instance, there was a parent with a child. The child is about 18 months.
Yeah.
And on our menu, say there was fish on there, and they were like, well, I read on the internet that this fish is, it might contain certain metallics and blah, 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 which is understandable. I understand that, because there is some places. But generally, I don't know, I find that maybe giving your child these things, if your doctor says it's okay, giving your child these things, it gets that out of the way. You lose your fear a bit more, you know? Because I find that a lot of the time, it's things that it's not really a problem if you go to the right place and find out. You know, like I say, doctor, nutritionist. It's not everything you read on the internet, as you know.
But tuna comes in a tin can.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl,
like a lot of things.
Yeah. my fish can't eat salmon because it's in a tin can. Are you mad?
It's crazy.
I was like, but you're feeding your kids tuna when you go home.
Exactly.
You do get some crazy parents.
You do, and you know, you get the ones who literally they don't like. I've had parents who, after they've had their last meal, say at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, they will say if they didn't eat it, they'll come back and say, well, that's the last meal they get for the day. And you think, well, but you're going to eat when you go home after.
So they take the kids home
and they don't feed them.
They don't feed them.
Nope.
So they have to sit and watch them.
Yeah,
probably eat.
I don't understand. Yeah,
probably eat metallic fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat this.
Yeah,
salmon.
you can't.
You sit there,
Yeah,
Papa.
yeah.
Why? That's another thing. Some parents here have said, well, we go home and they shower, they read book, and they go to bed. And I'm like, do you not? Because they all eat snacks.
They all eat snacks.
Galore when they get out of the door, innit?
I know for a fact that a lot of them, that's what they live on. These kids.
These snacks aren't sugar-free, man.
Nah, they're like crazy snacks. Like snacks are just
blue M&Ms.
Yeah, but yet you want to moan about maybe a soup or blah blah. You know, I find it a bit crazy. But I find that also nowadays that there's a lot of nannies about. So I don't think the parents do much cooking. There's a lot of home help.
Mums.
Yeah, no, mums or
nannies.
pairs. Yeah, nannies,
when they've got the money, haven't they?
Yeah,
when the parents have got the dollar.
It where we are. So you know,
people.
yeah, and a lot of the you know, it's like sometimes the kids are here from 7:30 to 6:30. You know, and they're like, well, because they get them so late. Yeah. They need to go to bed. The dinner's too late.
But Nanny's picked them up.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Nanny's there. Nanny's got everything. And do you know what? The amount of money that they're going to spend on a nanny in comparison to here as well, that's mad.
I know, it's crazy.
That's insane.
It's crazy. It's like half a wage a year.
The month. And some of these parents here, I'm like, you kind of think, you're like, God, you're earning $1. But then again, I think it's so it's based where it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And I think it's the norm for them.
Yeah.
It's the norm.
Yeah.
You know, even I've spoken to parents and they've found out some staff and they're like, no, they just don't believe it. They think like we're on like 50 grand a year, some of these parents.
And early years,
because
apparently.
we do look after their children.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing I find with early years, which I find a bit bad, more for staff who work with the kids, because I work in the kitchen, but I think, why are you not seen as like schools? You know, like the unions, the pay. Yeah. It's the same. This is just as important for a kid's life as primary schools, as secondary school. This is the start.
This is where the brains.
This is where the brains develop.
Mate.
So why are we separate? Why are you separated from like schools? I've never understood that.
Because they get paid. Teachers get paid more.
A lot more, yeah.
Don't they? Yeah.
Not great money, but it's more.
It's a lot more than I'd say what you get in early years. I wonder why that is, man.
I've always wondered that.
Because like you've got, especially when it comes to babies are like newborn to what?
Go to
What?
jail.
Newborn to 1
If
year.
you do something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's the most hardest job. Babies,
Yeah.
and then like the next one up, because it's so delicate. It's I don't know, man.
And they're fragile.
And they're
babe.
fragile.
And you've got like 20 of them running
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
You're like, "Rah!" It's
Eyes
like,
in the back of your head.
We're not going to pay you that much.
Yeah, but you have that
it's
responsibility.
Okay. And also make sure we don't have metal fish.
Yeah.
I don't want metal fish for my kid. Jesus. So you're a dad as well.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Well, my kids are. My youngest is 15. My oldest is 22. I'm a grandfather as well, because my oldest had a little boy in November. So, yeah, to be honest, I think it's the best thing in the world. I swear to you, having kids was like the best thing I could ever have done. And it's hard, you know, like relationships and all of that. Not with their parent no more, by their mum, but I think it's the best thing. I think it makes you to a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just, because I was just saying what my nan used to say to me: twice a boy, once a man, and it's so true. Because no, I mean like as a man growing up.
Oh right, I was
we're
like, has he had two boys?
We're twice a boy and once a man. So as much as we get into our 20s, 30s, you know what men are like. We still act like sometimes we're 18, 19. It just seems like a natural thing. So I think. So that's my nan always says to me, "You're going to be twice a boy, once a man." I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm in my 20s now. She said, "Yeah, I know." Literally, like I find it to making them. Most of the people I know who've had kids, most of my friends, I think it really helps. It changes them, but it makes you definitely more wary. And the changes from me being younger to like me at 15 to my son at 15. It's just like.
But that's the time
world.
change, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a different world.
Because we didn't have telephones and
yeah, exactly. So
all
things
that.
like PlayStation, they were the rich kids. When I was younger, I was like, my mate said, "I've got a Master System. I've got Amstrad."
Nintendo 64.
Yeah, like they were the rich kids back in the day. Nowadays, if your average Joe child from whatever class, lower, high, whatever it is, they've got the state PlayStation, computer, laptop, mobile phone, the latest mobile phones.
That's the other thing. That iPhone 16, 3GS or 4597XL.
Yeah,
45.
yeah.
And they're like, iPhones are bigger than them.
Yeah. It's
And
like how you like
parents are just throwing it away.
I'm telling you. But you know, I think like I say with my son, because he's still a child. Whereas my daughter, she works, and my eldest one works, so they kind of do their thing. But my youngest one, he's so good. I can't complain. Like he's predicted like 8 A stars for 15 GCSEs.
Really?
8. I'm like, wow. So when he asks me for anything, I genuinely give it to him, because that's what I say. If you do what you're supposed to do, which is turn up at school, do your schoolwork, do your homework, do your chores, be polite, have manners, because manners seem to have gone right out the window with the kids nowadays.
Yeah.
It's completely, it's non-existent.
Taking it over.
I've had enough of that.
Mate.
You know, and so I can't complain, you know. But then, like I say, I've got some friends whose kids. I've got a friend. His son is like, he's about 6'4". He's 17.
They are, aren't they?
Oh my
These
God!
tones.
I saw his son a few weeks ago. I said, "Oh, how's Dad?" He said, "Oh, he's not talking to me. I took his car out while him and Mum were asleep." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you took his car while he was sleeping?"
It must have been the food.
You're telling you.
Because no
I'm
word of a
telling
lie,
you.
when I've walked around here, these kids who I can blatantly see are in secondary school are like towering over me. Like they all get on the bus and the bus just like tilts, and they have to use that air thing.
Level it up.
And they have to like dunk their heads in. It's like Agrid times 20s just come on bus. I don't know where
When
this
I was
has
a
come
kid,
from.
we had that one child who was like, "Wow, what's the matter with you?"
And
Like,
he'd bully him. He would get
He would be
bullied.
the one to get it.
You'd
Now
be like, you're
the odd one out if you're like shorter than 5'9".
Oh, tell me, you're wearing big shoes.
It's different.
You're not shopping at Clark's, therefore you're not cool. My goodness me. How's your how's chefing intertwined then, and how have you kind of got up to this? When did you start your chefing?
So I started when I was 16.
Chefing.
Proper chefing at 16. So I learned to cook when I was 8, because I think that's just a Caribbean black family thing. We all learned to cook, boys, female. We just learned to cook. And then most of my family, like my great grandfather was the first head chef of colour in London in the 5-star hotel in 1970 something, I can't remember. So my family have always we've got bars and clubs now still in my family, and a few pubs. But I never really wanted to do it. I actually went to college to be a mechanic, but I signed up a day late.
I can see it a day late.
Yeah, Mr.
My
Cross.
life changed.
Yeah. So my nan was like, well, it's a sign. You're supposed to follow a family. So I went to Shannon, I worked at Marriott for a little bit, and then just Walthamstow College, just grafting. And then I found as I got older, because I think being a chef is such a passion. If you lose any passion to this chef, it's your downfall, because the hours you work, like the weekend, long weekends, every Sunday, depending where you're working, close to a lot of gastro pubs and restaurants. So roast is a big thing. That traditional British roast, they always try and keep. Now most pubs are trying to keep it because it ain't there. So I found that working in that kind of things, it's great. The vibe, the calamari, what's the word?
Calamari.
Calamari.
Canapes, tin silverfish, tuna, metal.
The team, working with a team is nice.
A multidisciplinary team together. Xbox, 6'4".
Yeah, literally. But yeah, it's such a that's right. It's such a
shades, by the way,
yeah,
chef's shades.
Chef shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it, but then I got to a certain age where, like, when my youngest was, when my ex was pregnant with my youngest, it was hard because I was working all weekend, 10 hours, didn't really see the family. I'll have a day off on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It's just like, your life is non-existent. And when you've got family, you can't do that. So coming to what we are now, is in nurseries, and that is an older chef's dream. Because
so you've gone through your chef.
Yeah, I've done that now. I've never do it again.
And what was the decision then? What made you just going straight into to like nurseries?
Because
and what about like primary schools?
Primary schools are hard to get because every chef who's had enough of working in restaurants and doing 60 hours a week, schools are the way. I've got a friend. He does. So he does 6 till 2. Quite a big female girls' school in East London. He loves it because he got all your kitchen staff. There's like 12 of them. So he basically is more office based. Basically.
But would you not get bored?
Maybe, but then he can go in the kitchens and help out and blah blah blah. But I think what I do now, nurseries, I love it. I do. Even the money I earn now is pretty much the same as what I was earning doing 55, 60 hours a week. 40 hours is perfect. I've got time for myself. You know, like written a book, kids' book, and
yes, he has, which I will link later downstairs.
Yes, you shall.
Stay tuned, guys, and listen to the book. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, and it fits in with my family. Do you know? Because that was the most important thing, was my family. Not spending time with them too much. I was finishing work, starting work at like 9 in the morning. So I see them in the morning before going to school, and then I won't see them again until the next day, generally.
Because of the late nights?
Yeah, because of the hours. And yeah, it was just too much. It's too much. It's too much. With a family, I find it hard. But if you're dedicated and that's what you want to do, I can understand it. Because the rewards definitely come later on in life from being a chef. The money, people think the money's great. The money's only good because you work 60 hours a week. If you work 60 hours, it's not the greatest money. But yeah, I'm there now. And look, it's got me here, so I can't complain.
And do you know what? It's quite a chilled, in a sense, chilled, because you've got your set times.
Yep.
And they have their your AM snacks and your lunches and your puddings and stuff. I think that there probably is a ton more allergies in this as well. So you're definitely looking at like your dairy. Everyone's dairy allergy.
Everybody's got dairy allergies
These
nowadays.
kids, I don't know what it is about these kids, and I don't know how they manage to grow up. But like,
this is what I don't understand. Why? When we was younger.
Yeah.
What test? Test for what? You either ate it. If you ate it and you swelled up, you don't eat it again.
I was like that with prawns. I swallowed a prawn. I was in a house, and do you know that like kind of pebbled thing?
Yeah.
But it was like a pebbled house, and I felt being sick, and it was a landlady. I was back down to school, and she's like, "You will eat these prawns," and I was like, "I don't like them." And she's like, "No, you'll eat them." And I scuffed these prawn downs, and literally 20 minutes later, I was like, "I'm gonna be sick," and I couldn't get to the toilet. It's only the room. So I opened the window and I was sick, but it was chunks.
Oh.
And it went like into the pebble bag.
So it's molded into it.
So the next day, she was like, I was left a note. Sorry, I have been sick. You made me eat this.
But nowadays, they won't even try it. They'll just say, nah, well, my aunt's uncle had an allergy, so it probably runs in the family, so we're not going to chance it.
I wonder what they're testing it for, because what I've noticed, I was looking at formula in that room. Now, when your baby has got a dairy allergy,
how can they have that?
But have you seen the non-dairy formula ingredient list?
No, I haven't. No. Is it that bad?
Mate, my jaw dropped, because I'm sure one of the ingredients is like, it was a laxative.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Because I'm assuming that if you drink milk, it's going to make your tummy go a bit
yeah,
more,
a bit dodgy.
free flowing.
Yeah.
But and I'm sat there thinking, I wonder what these like parents do. Do parents look at these ingredients lists? Do
I think
parents?
they do.
They just
I
like
really don't. They just see what, like they'll read something or someone say, oh yeah, blah, no, forget dairy, and they'll just say, right, well that's non-dairy, I'll buy it, and that's it.
it's like dairy free.
Yeah.
Or GP will turn around and go, well, you have to have this.
Yeah.
This dairy-free milk powder.
Yeah. It's what made up of 35 different ingredients.
At 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Kid moves up a room and got an eye growing out the red.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's
I'm like,
crazy.
you look stunning.
It's so crazy how things have changed. And I think, you know, like all the time, like, all this Gen X business. Well, I am who I am, but I get put in that Gen X thing for my age. And they always say like we was 50. We were. What is it? What they say? That basically we're looking after ourselves, brought up on our own, and then like, which is true in a sense, but we wasn't as much as our parents had that to graft. Anyway, times were hard back then as well, so they had to graft. So we did have to look after ourselves.
Cheaper,
It was
man.
a lot cheaper. We didn't cause trouble.
Grandma's buying houses for a grand
yeah,
in London.
Yeah, exactly. And we was just living life. But I don't know. I find that nowadays, see the younger lot, they're a bit weak.
What was it I read the other day? They were like a Gen Z says that they need the minimum of 400,000 to live nice. And I get that because that's quite unrealistic in terms of getting that money.
Yeah.
But then
it makes sense. You add it up.
Oh, it makes
you
great
need more
sense.
than that. Yeah.
But what these Gen Zs are doing are somehow managing to put a print on a T-shirt and selling £50,000 worth of it.
Yep.
Because somehow they were the first ones that have come into all this internet, and somehow they click the fingers and they somehow just know.
But this is the
just
thing,
know
bro.
how to
But when you
create
think
it.
about it, it comes from our era. Internet didn't turn up well, my daughters and sons are running about. That was in my age group. I was mobile phones when I was younger. All of this come from our time, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they just seem to. I don't know.
It's because we didn't have like scrolling internet.
No,
back
no,
then.
we never had none of that.
We didn't have the scrolling.
None of that.
And I think with these guys, they can consume so much, but their attention span is a lot less than ours. Like we can sit down and actually get on and do something.
Yeah, they can't.
And I saw
9 to 5.
Oh, done. And
What's that?
They want to work 3 days a week.
Yeah,
They want to work 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And they just change it. Everything's eco-compostable.
Yeah.
And these Gen Zs are, oh gosh, one of my friends, I was at a party the other day or something, or whatever, and you'd go to the shop after, and you'd usually buy like a bottle of wine or something and a little snacky or something.
Yeah.
These Gen Zs are coming out with like filtered water, wine and olives.
Yeah.
Like, this is like their thing now.
Yeah. My mate's got a pub, right? He said to me,
Olives
he said, I've had enough.
Yeah.
So these little come in on a Saturday, like he shows tennis, cricket, don't really show football now and again anymore. He said they'll come in, request that the TV's turned off so they can play their game or whatever game they play. There'll be like 20 of them, they'll buy 2 rounds, but be there from 12 o'clock to like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they're not buying no more. But they think that's fine. They don't care that people need their table or anything like that. They're like, well, we're here, we bought a drink.
We're here, and we'll buy it
They
long
just
enough
don't
so
get
they
it.
can't throw us
They
out.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it. Like, it's crazy. They just don't,
So how are you, look, going back to this son and his 15,000 day stars, which I'm very jealous of, I think, because I only got, I'm not telling you, so, no, I'm not. What are you feeding your kids? And do you think that feeding kids as a chef is different to someone that's like living in London because it's all fresh and £3.60 meal deals, which used to be £3.
£3, yeah. I find that, like, you know, I know a lot of people who generally going from work, a lot of single parents going from work, they ain't really got time to do like proper meals. But what I find people are starting to do, which I always suggest to do, weekends, if you can batch cook, especially if you're a single parent, you know, if you can batch cook just for a few hours, cover yourself. Do you know what I mean?
For the whole family?
For the whole, just cover yourself. But if it's, let's say it's you, 2 kids, and you're on your own, you can make like spag bowl, blah, blah, blah. Use the same mince to make chili. Do you know what I mean? You can, because what I do, when I cook for my kids, I eat, because I never used to eat it. Chefs don't eat healthy. I tell you that now. Most chefs I know, we're always, especially restaurants, pubs, gastro, they're on the go.
Yeah.
Nick a chip.
Dippy finger,
it's
soup
very
spoon.
that sort of thing. Most chefs I know are overweight. Honestly, they don't eat well at all. But I, because of my age and health reasons, I realised that, you know, it's about that, especially when you get to a certain age, you have to. So I preach that to my kids. But nowadays, as you said, these younger lot, they're all up to, my daughter, She goes gym, mate. You see my daughter go gym. Listen,
I ain't seen these Gen X's exercise yet.
telling you, my daughter.
Oh no, yes I have.
She goes 6 days a week. I say to her, but you working? She said, I don't. This is what it's what we do. Me and my friends, we go gym. They don't smoke. They don't drink.
They're very healthy.
They eat a lot, which is good.
Yeah.
It is. But then
Yeah.
you look at the other side of that age group.
Yeah.
They're out there fucking running about like it's fucking war zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's you always get the yin and the yang.
Because it's thing like cinemas. I'm sorry, but cinemas are going to die.
Yeah, they're gone.
Gen Z's done.
They're
done
gone.
good at
They
the
don't go
cinemas.
cinema. They've got laptops.
They got laptops. They got. Do you know? There is what's that? Is it Picture House or something?
Yeah, Picture House.
But they've done it in a way where like it's a restaurant.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 'cause
in
yeah,
the
you
cinema,
can sit
isn't
there,
it?
you lounge back.
And you just
Yeah, me and my
order.
ex used to go to the one in I can't remember where it was, but yeah, we used to go like once a month. Lounge back, we'd have a nice Madras curry with a Jack Daniels on the scene, and you watch a film.
Yeah.
But
And they
even
put
that,
classics on.
yeah, well, this is what they need to do. They
This
need
is
to
a
do
way to suck them in.
That's what they need to do.
but
They need to do it for classics.
but
For like,
the
'cause then
menu
people
is-
like us will go to the cinema
But the
again.
menu's not healthy.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
olives
Shite.
on there.
No, yeah, exactly. Popcorn.
There's no
Mhm,
fresh
what's that?
filtered organic
yeah.
wine.
Yeah, is that organic popcorn you got there?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're just on a different vibe, man. They're killing all the things that we used to enjoy.
No, but I do think that it is the Gen Zs that are gonna change
Yes,
the world.
I hope so.
You know.
Because this is someone needs to.
Yeah.
Can't just keep going the way it is. Like London is quite a like. It's always been fast paced here. It's weird. It's always been a fast paced place, but
Yeah.
it was a lot more happier.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
when the tube was £1.
Yeah, and we was broke,
Yeah.
but we was happy being broke.
Yes. You know what? We were speaking about this the other day, weren't we? Let's get into this. And just like the whole way of living in London, and you know, hats off to any parent that has a child in London.
It's scary. See, we're on the half term now.
Yeah.
I'm like, my son got his haircut and they fucked it up, sorry, but they messed it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, because he ain't going out there. He won't leave the house now. He won't leave the house. I'm like, okay, cool.
Is it?
Because, and generally, it's most people, I don't know, it's not always your child, do you know what I mean? It's you could just be walking anywhere nowadays. You know, when I was younger, if I had a fight, I'd get beat up or you'd win, you shake hands, go about your business.
Like, you're like old school.
Yeah, old school,
aren't
yeah.
you? You're like having
Yeah.
it around the back of
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And
take your beating.
see who
so you
goes.
guys take your beating, shake hands, nice one. That's
Yeah.
it. There's no ribbing after.
No.
You're not gonna get bullied next time you see him.
No, because then you've gained in power, haven't
Okay,
you?
yeah. It's like it's done now. It's over. Nowadays, I don't even think they even know what a fist fight is. Probably think it's something on OnlyFans.
See, I was schooled up in Yorkshire,
Mhm.
and I think the worst.
You
thing
must
that
have had
happened-
that then.
No, it weren't.
That old school
it weren't.
thing.
It weren't lovely,
Yeah.
but it weren't great. But apparently there was someone had spread a rumor in our school that they were going to have a fight with another school.
Yeah.
And it got round to the police, and we were all going to meet at this corner shop next to Chippy. Chippy, where you used to go and get scraps for £1.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
lunchtime. And everyone was going to meet on this corner, and it was going to be like a school battle.
Yeah.
Anyway, the police found out about 3:20. Helicopters.
You had the whole shebang.
Helicopters.
How
are
much
flying
that
above.
cost to get them out?
Oh my goodness! And then obviously I went being the gay self. I was in the back line,
yeah.
just cheering them on. with
Yeah,
like, Go White World,
Yeah,
go White
yeah.
World. But moving down to London.
How long you been here now?
Oh my God, Richard, too long. I can't count. Well, I'm only 19 now. No, I'm 20. No, I'm not. I'm 34.
Are you 34 now?
Mate, I'm 34. I first came down when I was 16. I went to ballet school. It wasn't that bad then. That was when I puked the prawns out the window.
Yep.
Went back up for a bit. Came back down. I did UAL. Did my fashion stuff. Spent my 20s back up because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't filling a void. And I was like, no, it was the child therapy, which is what I kind of started before COVID. But then coming back down here, it's just so bleak.
It is, isn't it? It's bleak, and that's so sad.
Bleak.
Like, this is supposed to be the capital of England. It's so bleak here. You know what it is?
terrible.
I tell my kids, I've told them from they were about 5, you will find the majority of people you meet are not very nice.
Not in London.
They're not. They're in London. They're not, are they?
Not in London.
And why though? I don't understand.
It's a miserable city.
It's such a miserable
It's just
place.
gone up to the your Oyster card is public transport's most expensive
Yeah,
in the world. And you know, I'm looking online and I'm seeing all of these rooms and stuff, and you look for like a single room with a bed just in the side of it, and it's not even, it's got nothing
to it.
and it's coming up at nearly £900 a month, and you think, even as a student, as anyone living by a single person, you are doomed.
Yeah, you're doomed.
And there was a student in India or something that wrote a big post about, do not go to London. Like, your education's great, but it's miserable. Yeah. Everyone's horrible. Everyone's terrible. You know, you're getting on a tube and you're just faced with just these blank people. The energy is horrific.
Thank you. And I was born in London. I'm 48, and I've just seen it just over the years. You know, even things like, you know, just simple things. Just if you're at a bus stop and there's an old lady or an old man there and they're struggling, let them in front. I see these cool kids just right, or help them. They barged around the way.
Mate, they're all 6 foot. She's gone.
And
she's gone.
No one can't say nothing because you're gonna get jumped by 30 of them. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
it's ridiculous.
They all walk in front of that old woman and then that's it. She's gone.
Yeah, disappeared.
Too many tall people.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And I think the only way that you get in a house in London is if, like, grandma bought a house in 1940.
That's how my friend was. Yeah.
And I saw one of my mates had an old newspaper from London, some Gazette thing dating back from 20s or 30s, and it was like, come and see your house now, a view of Regent's Park in Hyde Park, buy now for £1,200 something.
Go back in time.
I think I'm just like, this is what I mean, to get a view of both parks, and I'm thinking, wow, to have that at 1,200. Let's say that this grandma had you know, an okay money, and back in them days, like, once you were together with someone, you got married forever.
Yeah, that's right.
So there was no breaking up.
That's right.
They get this house, they get this flat, and then let's say it bumps up to 1950, 1960, when our grandmas or mums got that given to them through inheritance. And then you're coming up to 2024 when the houses around the area are now 2.5, 3 million.
Wow, yeah.
And you think the only way that you've got that is because you've inherited this house, and it's so upsetting because I speak for every millennial on this planet. Ain't no way that this is going to happen in London. And as much as it's a lovely city, I am sick to death with just the blankness of attitude.
Oh mate, I can't stand it.
It's too much for me, and it's too much for my head. Like, I'm in London because of the training that I'm receiving, which is out of this world. But I've always said to myself that, you know, once this has stopped, you know, do I stay here or do I go somewhere else? Because even on a psychotherapist wage in London, it's very similar to maybe Manchester or Leeds, or Sheffield, where I'm from. But I'm going up north, but I'm you know, spending X amount on a little cot. I can rent a 3-4 bedroom house in Sheffield for 450 quid. Look at that, 450 quid. And
do you know what? Let me tell you something, right?
450 quid.
When I first split up with my kids, mum. See, that was 5-6 years ago. So I was like, right, I'm gonna have to private rent. So things. So I was here. This is why I left first of all, because I tried to get a pay rise and they wouldn't give me one. And I was like, look, I can't afford to private rent and still work here. So I left. And then I found a place. You know, I had a studio on Archway Road, right? Going up, you know Suicide Bridge, N19. Just past N19. So going up, like you're going up towards the petrol station, you know, like that way. So I was paying for a studio.
You have to.
1,600 quid.
Yeah.
£1,600 I was paying for a studio, and that didn't include council tax. So
that's a month. And council tax is going up.
For what? What are we paying for?
Have you heard of the TV license? Have you heard what they're doing?
They're taking the mick.
Have you heard what they're doing though?
Go on.
So, about is it 500,000 or something millennials have basically cancelled their TV license because we don't watch live TV. It's our moms that watch Coronation Street.
Right. True.
So we don't need that.
Okay.
We watch Netflix, or that's what kids and Gen Zs for that matter watch that. So now the council tax, the TV license are now saying, well, if you're watching Netflix, you now have to have a TV license. They're now turning around saying, if you have BBC iPlayer on your phone, you have to have a TV license, even though you're travelling on the M1, you've still got to have a TV license because that TV license is apparently going to cover the whole of the M1, you know. But now, because no one's still paying it, and they go into these people's houses and seeing that they're not needing a TV license, they're now turning around to the government and trying to intertwine it with council tax.
So we have to pay
TV license.
They're just like I don't know what else they want us to do.
Us kids are doomed. We're doomed. We can't.
I don't know what else they want us to do. Like, get a pay rise. Inflation's like treble what your pay rises is. It's crazy. Like, what do they expect from? I don't know. I just worry about the next generation. Like my kids, I'm like, you don't need to get out of here. Make your money, do well, make money, and get out of London. Because I can't, unless, like you say, the Gen Zs, they might be able to come up with something. But again, I don't. It's London's. It used to be, you had your middle class, you're rich, you're lower class. There's not really middle class no more. You're either broke or you're not. Do you know what I mean? You either struggle or you don't.
Or that 14-year-old girl that's just, what is it? She's retired on YouTube.
Yeah, I read that.
Because she's made 2.7 thousand million trillion pounds in crypto. And because she's been watching toys. And I think, I wish my children could think of this.
I said to myself, I said, all the bloody brains you got, why aren't we millionaires?
I want that. I want to be like, I don't mind ordering Toys R Us toys and sitting there going, so this is a button, and oh my God, you are gonna love this. And I feel that as a millennial, I missed it. I missed the point where I was too old to kind of get on that TikTok hype, and I'm too young to. You know, there's no. With millennials, miss all the big pots to make money. You know, like I'm that old where I was still paying 99p for a monotone ringtone.
Yeah. I get you.
You know, or doing that and making it on your phone and Snake, or having to input your own. It's Raining Men by Jerry Halliwell. Right. Spending all of that time on ringtones, only now to have my phone on silent 24 hours a day. And I'm like, what's that going to get me? I saw another millennial on TikTok. She's like, well, I've just spent the last 5 years of my life just learning how to shuffle cards really fancy because there's nothing else I can make money on. And when people ask, at least I have got something. And I'm like, I just wish. And as millennials, we try to get on that high. You'll find a 34-year-old trying to cheek in a little, day in the life off, and I'm like, we don't have the skills of these Gen Zs. We don't have these editing skills. These Gen Zs will put 2 videos into like a video editing, and
it's done. Whereas before you had to go to college 3 years to learn that.
Mate, I'm still using like Photoshop, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge pro AI, everything. I think that AI is going to take over a lot of things. I think AI has been implemented in China at the minute with the headbands. It's going to come over here, and I do think it's going to help. I agree. But I think
it's
overall,
moving very fast.
I think we're doomed. Doomed. How are you? Are you worried about anything with your kids and like their heads and their mental health and how they grow up?
Not really at the minute. I'm not. My oldest one, I worry about him because he's had his first child, and he works also in the catering industry, and he works long hours.
Following Dad's footsteps.
Well, he's more of a. Right now he's a manager of a franchise outlet, and he does really well. It's in the city, does really well out of it. He has good money, but he wants to go to more accountancy, and he's a numbers boy, so he wants to get out of that, which is good because it's stressful. He finishes work at 11, 12. Make sure he ties, make sure everything's done. He's the last person to leave work. Sometimes the first one in, and he gets home, a young baby, he'll take over that and do the feeding. So I worry about that. Not like. It's like, oh yes, I love it, Dad, I love it. But mentally, after a while, it will start to grind you down. It's finding that balance, and I find that's the hardest thing. Is finding because everybody wants money, especially the younger lot. They all want the best things.
They want half a million, mate.
Yeah.
Which about 10% of them are getting.
Because they see it on TikTok. These like flash. I suppose a lot of it is all bullshit. We know, but it's what they see is what they want. And I always say to them, it's balance. Like money's all great, but you also have to have lifestyle and mental balance. Because the more you work, it's stressful, it's all great, but you're going to find yourself not having time to do the things what are important to you, yourself, what things what keep you balanced and put a smile on your face. So it's that balance. And like you say, London, it's hard to get that balance because you need to pay rent. Like as a child, it's all right, but they have to understand that London is a hard place. It's a hard place. It's nice, like, don't get me wrong. I'm born here, I love London, but I noticed the big switch is and where it's going, and it's not so family orientated. I find that it's younger.
West London is.
Is it?
Girlie, have you been in West London? There's more prams and tubes.
Yeah, but what are these mums? They working, these mums?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Dad's got the money. Dad's got all the money. Oh my gosh,
man.
But I'm gonna come back to food for a bit.
Yep.
Talk to me about what do you need to tell parents about nursery food? What do you think parents are stressed about with nursery food and food galore in early years? Like, vent to me about that. Vent to me about food. But like, because there's a lot of parents that are just gonna ask random questions. What is it that that you think as a nursery chef is gonna kind of help?
So
parents?
One thing I don't know what helps the most is me actually coming to them a lot of the time, because I would, like yesterday for instance, there was a young lady who's bringing her child here, and she was like, oh, processed food. So I said to her, look, we don't do processed food, but you know, I think you just automatically think nuggets, burgers, chips. It's a nursery school, especially older people my age. They think that's it, because that's how we had it. You know what I mean? Chicken drumsticks and chips and cheese. And you know, you have to explain to me it's not like that no more. Jamie Oliver done a lot for stuff like that. He did. He actually did. I'll give him his dues. Like, he really did, because up until him, which wasn't, what was that, 6-7 years ago maybe, the food was nuggets and things like that in nurseries and schools. So now we're a lot more kids are vegan, and as we said, there's a lot more allergies nowadays. So it's being mindful for that and explaining stuff to them. Sometimes I'll bring out the food packaging and show them, you know, but then it can be like, it can be stressful, as in some parents take it too far. I have a child who, they will eat meat at home, but they're not allowed to eat meat here. Or they'll say they're strictly vegan, and I'll do a barbecue, and at the end of the night when they finish coming out of nursery and I'm doing a barbecue, they'll ask for a hot dog or a sausage or a burger. I'm telling you, I'll tell you the names after. It's ridiculous. It's a secret. Yeah, so I find that, like, that's so frustrating. So you have to change my menu, but when your son leaves here, and if I'm doing a barbecue, Dad's bringing him and giving him a burger. And
why do you think is that? Why do you think they've made that decision to not have anything in?
Personally, I think some parents, like, have said to me, they don't trust where the food's coming from, like, because they haven't bought it themselves. Right. But what I explained to them is that where we get our food from, they generally do pretty much 90% of the schools in London. So you're going to be having it anyway, and the quality is no different to what you're getting in Sainsbury's. Probably all come from the same place.
Like the same vendor?
Yeah, it's coming from this. Yeah, literally.
Like the same vendor. Isn't it Waitrose and Sainsbury's? That's the same people.
It's the same people. That cow, what that farmer's just chopped up or whatever, it's going to be distributed to all of us. Yeah. You know,
you can spend 40 quid on it in Waitrose or
20 in Lidl.
Yeah, 10, 20,
and, yeah, and they'll rather go Waitrose because, as you know, because it's Waitrose. Materialism.
Yeah.
So I think that is a big problem. But once I get past that, generally they're okay. Or another thing, what does wind me up sometimes, so we could cook something, every child's fine. Their child might not eat it, or they might go home and have a bit of a runny tummy. Next year, you know, it's like I've poisoned the whole of London, when really I've just cooked for 45 kids. You're the only, so maybe it's not me. You know?
Yeah, otherwise there'd be more.
Yeah, there'd be more
kids.
You know, but that's the first thing they do. They go to the kitchen, even if it's nothing to do with food, any sort of little thing. They'll generally like, what did they eat today? Like, come on, you know. And most of these parents don't look at the menu. That's what I find so frustrating. You will moan about certain food, but you got that menu before your child come here. So because that comes in the package, like, this is what we do. This is, you know what it is. But
you're gonna have to start doing a sample day.
Yeah, we do.
For parents.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm doing one in 2 weeks.
They come in and they eat the food.
But what we do a bit extra, make it a bit more fancy. So yeah, we do one in 2-3 weeks. After the holiday, we're doing it. You should come.
I wonder why parents will be like that, because you must. One of the things, if I took my kid to a nursery, I'd be okay. So what are you cooking?
Yeah.
There's been so many tours that I've done, and the first thing that these parents will ask me is the food, and they'll look at the menu, and I'm like, look, you've got a normal menu, an allergy menu, and a preference.
Weaning, bait, vegan, everything.
Veganism, babyism, calciism, metal fishyism.
There's a menu for everything at work.
And it feels like they go away and then just forget about it.
That's exactly what they do.
Because if you also, but here's the thing: they go to primary school and you'll give your kids however much pocket money, they're like £2.50.
And they're done a bat. Yeah, so I used to get £2.50.
And they're going to give the kids a £5. Oh no, they've got cards now.
Yeah,
you put
it on the card.
Bank cards,
and they just tap.
But you're telling me that you're going to be worried about your kid having all of this processed food, but then when they go to primary and they have that freedom of decision, I guarantee you, girl,
they're not having that. Yeah, they're not having bulgur wheat.
Bulgur wheat and chips.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They're having bulgur wheat and vegan sausages. They're
Fresh
having
tomatoes
Yeah,
picked from
no
outside
way.
in our own farm. They go into shop and buying a pack of knickknacks.
Exactly.
They can't even buy Red Bull anymore
you
because they
can't.
need
Yeah,
ID, don't they?
Yeah, you need ID to get Red Bull.
And I don't see many kids walking around with a bottle of water
Nope.
anymore.
Nah,
and
them days are gone.
Who's chomping on a banana and a
Yeah.
packet of grapes?
Nah.
You know?
Gen Zs.
Well, that's when they've got money
when
for
they
it.
got money. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's mad.
I find, as a parent, because I'm as a parent myself, like and that helps. I honestly, that really does help. When they find that, especially that my kids are older, so they know that I've kind of been through it, so to speak. And I always try and reassure them. I use my own experiences. My son was a nightmare. He never eaten nothing. At nursery or at school, he was like, nah, ain't eating. And they were like, oh, is there a problem? At home, he was fine. And then it's just, I don't know, I think it's just be comfortable. Once they get comfortable, they're all right. And I think most of these kids, like, I know we've got some who, like, parents are a bit worried about their weight and doctors and whatnot. But I always say to them, this is new. Remember, they've only been on formula or breast milk.
Or on the planet.
Exactly. This is like, what is this?
Yeah.
All they know is cotton home, you know, or nanny or whatever.
Cow and gate.
Cow and gate. That is it.
Cow and gate.
Nah, they've got a plate in front of them, their own spoon, and they're like, right, what the hell is this? I've never seen this in my house. So it takes time, and I just said this because I've had parents crying to me. Parents even tried to bring in their own food, which they're not allowed to do. So that conversation is always hard, you know, because they're like, oh, they don't eat, and I've only given them this. I'm like, well, I understand, but you need to let them explore, you know. And if it don't work, then I can make what you've made, but I can't take it off you to bring it into the nursery because we don't know really what's in it, so to speak. But yeah, I think it's just, I understand, it's like first day at school, isn't it? You know, your mum's like, oh, I don't want to leave you, but
What's the most like crazy thing that parents run me through some things where you've gone
so
no.
So one parent said to me, if I find a sustainable butcher, that is, we can check where they get their animals from and blah blah blah, can I do that for their child? So I have to go out my way, not that I'm allowed to do this, find a butcher that gets their animals from, I don't know, a farm or reputable.
A bulgur wheat farm.
Yeah, whatever. And like get one bit of chicken for their child, literally, and that's it. I've had that. I've had. And
what was your answer? Were you like,
I said I can't do that. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to. Yeah, I can't. That's just that. Can't.
For every 5 steps I take, it's £7 interest.
And this is a good one. This happened a long time. This is before you even started. Parents said to me, "What is the metal? What are cutlery made out of?" So I said, "What do you mean? Like, what metal do we use? Where does it come from?" But I was like, I don't know. You'll have to talk to the office about that. I don't know. And she spoke to not the old manager. Nearly, yeah. And it was just baffling. We were both like, we don't know what you mean. Like, there's nothing. Cutlery. As far as I know, I don't know any different. Maybe she knows something different. So we had that, and yeah, we had about the bottled water. Their child is not allowed any water unless it's from a bottle, which again, that doesn't really work with us.
I mean, was it a Gen Z parent?
Yeah, generally most of these come from the younger like that. Because one thing I noticed about when I first started here, we had a lot more older parents. Do you remember? The parents were like late. They were like having kids later.
Yes.
Like 40s, early 50s, late 40s, early 50s. So we had a lot of that. But now the younger ones, and we used to see them parents. I don't see that many parents. You see a core like 4, 5, 6. But generally, it's a lot of nannies drop off, a lot of grandmothers, a lot of au pairs. Like, you don't really, that conversation ain't always there with the parents. So sometimes I'll speak to an au pair and I'll say, oh, well, blah, 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 didn't have, or is there anything they should be, I'm like, it'd be better if, I don't think there is, but it'd be better if I talk to the parent, because you know, it's like Chinese whispers. I say something and it might come out wrong the other side. But I will say, generally, I don't think the parents are all right. They're not, like, at the minute, everything seems okay.
The younger ones.
The younger ones,
a bit more understanding.
Yeah.
It's not Chinese whispers anymore. We've got to get rid of that now, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. It's not allowed to say that.
Broken telephone.
Oh, is that what it is?
Broken telephone, no?
Learn something new every day. Broken telephone.
No, Chinese whispers, no singing Baba Black Sheep.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We've got to change the colour now.
Wow. Baba Rainbow Sheep.
That's the LGBT.
Oh, yeah, you can't even do that, but I put every colour in there, didn't I?
No, because then that's homophobic. Baba Rainbow Sheep.
Yeah.
Have you any wool? No,
No.
it doesn't. Not with that many colours on it, though. You probably bleached its skin. It's got nothing left. Leave the sheep
It's
alone.
scary. That's what I'm saying. It's scary.
Right, so give me some. We'll finish up. Give me some tips.
Okay.
That you think that parents who are going to come to nursery or when you have a kid, when you come into nursery, what realistically are you looking out for, and what should you be asking, and what do you need to just relax a little bit on?
Yeah. So me personally, as a parent, I would, like you say, you have to take that menu home with you, keep it with you, assess it, because you know what your kid eats and blah blah blah. And I'm sure if you go to other nurseries, you'll see the differences. So obviously, whatever works for you. But one thing I will always reassure them, especially where we work, it's no processed food, definitely. And just sometimes I know it's hard as a parent, is just to let go a little bit and say, because a lot of them say, oh, I haven't tried them with that, and I don't eat it. So I've had that. This is the one where, how weird is this? Right, listen to this. How weird is this? So married couple, they both have intolerance to garlic before they met each other. So I don't know if they met a garlic convention or whatever. Intolerance. So their child hasn't, but they say they don't want them to eat garlic just in case. But I said to them, but that's probably going to help. It's like you get bitten by a snake. You use snake venom to, I think it will probably help them. I said, as long as your intolerance doesn't put you in hospital, and it doesn't, they were just like, no, we just don't really, it's not really intolerant, so I don't like it. So it was that thing. And things like that, just, I understand, but as long as it's not like he eats it and then you're going to swell up once he gets home.
Had he eaten garlic before?
Yeah, he's had garlic before.
So
what
he
they said,
wasn't allergic?
there's nothing wrong with it. They were like, there was one time we did smell it on him. So, but all this time he's been having garlic. So they were like,
vampire.
If you just take a little bit down or not give him any. So I did. And then Dad said, I don't think there's anything wrong with the garlic. So he said to me, look, you can add it bit by bit. So I said, are you sure? I'd rather you clear that with Mum before he goes home. You're at work, she picks him up, he smells a bit of garlic, I'm up on a charge or something, you know. So we all got together, we do that. So that's what I do now. I speak to both parents. If there's a problem, I spoke to one today about their child, if their dietaries have changed, and they haven't, which I was quite surprised, but it's fine, I don't mind. But I always find that, and even you find that, so those come from a young age, say babies, they'll get to 3 years old from after being there since 6 months, and their parents haven't even looked at their chart again, their food chart, but yet at home, all these things, what they couldn't eat then, they can eat now. So I have to bring it up now and again. I'll say to staff, has that been reviewed?
They just assume.
Yeah, it just stays the same, and then you say, oh, but 3 years they still not eat. Oh no, we have it at home now.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, it's things like that. But yeah, I think communication is the best thing.
Yeah.
And have faith. If you're putting your child in a nursery, you have to have a certain amount of trust.
Of course, in the food as well.
Yeah, you got
the smallest thing.
Yeah, you got to trust the whole thing. It's not about Josh is great with my child, but the rest of the nursery, I'm not too sure about. If Josh ain't there, I'm not too sure. Well, you should take your child out of here then, because you have to feel comfortable.
Well, again, communication. Ask. Send some emails. I've said this before to other parents when they've been decisive about nurseries. Is just ask. Ask a parent and just see what kind of.
That's exactly it.
And see.
It's true.
See who's doing it.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, I think when you have a first child, the things you're going to worry about is, I'm going to go breastfeeding or I'm going to go formula. And because food is such a crucial component of life, it's like you'll have them coming up going, right, so they're on formula now, but the dairy, but they're not. So I've got non-dairy formula, but I'm also not going to have this, and this. And I feel that in a way as well, there's some children that don't eat anything.
Yeah.
And they stay there for a bit and then they give it a few months, like you said, and they start introducing things. And again, it's communication, because you should always just turn around to a nursery and say, well, I am scared as a mom, but let them smell a tomato.
Yeah, that's it.
Let them smell a tomato.
Because that's what we're here for. We are actually here to make them to introduce these things into
the foods.
And I love it. When a parent says, oh my gosh, my child ate, but it makes me feel so good to know that we've actually done something. And I see it with you and other staff. We actually try, and that's what we're here for. We're here for them. Parents need to realise that we are here to help your child in the future. That's what we're here for.
What's the most angriest thing you've ever done, or what's the most angriest thing that's happened at the nursery? Talk me through some emotional nursery food.
I'll tell you what did upset me one time was was a parent, because I made something. We was doing a testing. Funny enough, it was a testing time.
Yeah.
I made something, and this was extra. It wasn't on the menu. It's more for the adults, because trying to, to them to have a good time as well. And we do the menu food, plus we do a little bit extras. And she read something about a dish, and I'd removed the chili from it. So she ate the dish, but I put on it, because everything's labelled, ingredients, and she didn't read the ingredients. She put it up, put it in her mouth, and she went, "Oh my God, I've just eaten, why have you put this here?" But I was like, there's no chili in it, you're fine. I heard this, the husband already told me,
Right.
so I knew already. And it was like a big commotion, and when you're standing there with all new parents, they're all looking at me like, you have to say, can we trust this guy with our kids, And it's not a nice feeling. I felt literally like so small. If it wasn't for, who was the manager? I don't think any of them were here. And they literally saved it. I was just like, I can't work like that. I don't want to work in that. I don't want people to think that, because that just defeats the object of me being here. And I don't want to come to work thinking that, that parent might be looking, and then they might say something to another parent.
And it spreads like wildfire
like
in nurseries, doesn't it?
Tell me about
it's
it.
like the door had a blue sticker on it this morning. I have never seen it again.
Yes.
And then it's like, the door's got a red sticker, the door's got an orange sticker, the door has
crazy.
no glass, the door is not there.
And I think where we work is I think we got a nice group of people generally.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of approachable, and we all kind of get on. We all get on, generally. We do. We're quite.
I think the team's very well
I
here.
think it's a really
Team's
great team.
In comparison to maybe previous.
Yeah. He's a bit more getter.
It's a nice overall team, guys.
Yeah, it is.
We're not telling you the names.
It's a great team.
You can't tell by the field. Or the parents sat behind us for the past 10 minutes. But it's okay, this is all educational.
It is, very much so.
Live like and love like and love.
That's right. Yeah, I enjoy it. I love working here. Like, at Monday mornings, I was like, don't you feel like, Monday? I don't. I actually get up in the morning. I'm quite happy to come in.
You're here first thing.
Yeah, first
They at 6 in bloody morning. Doves haven't come up. Cows aren't even on, like,
I really enjoy my job. I can't lie, I do actually enjoy it.
You're
I like the people, the kids are great, the manogement's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I enjoy
very
it.
lively.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, we're probably the most liveliest in that nursery, me and you.
We are. It's a very female. It's
Yeah.
a female-dominated place, you know, and I'm like very much a woman anyway.
But you say that.
I'm done.
But without you in there, if we was say it was a week and we both went here this week and we could have a camera in and look into it'd be absolutely
miserable,
dead
wouldn't it?
miserable as hell.
I was told the other day that I bring a light of
You
life
do,
in
you
the
do.
nursery. I was like,
You do.
"Thanks,
I'm telling
girl.
you do. Because like you say, it can be quite a no, I enjoy it. I do.
What we'll do once a month is we'll both take a day off.
Yes.
And then we'll just not turn up.
We do that.
And then we'll post it on like the app. And be like, growing up so quick.
Yeah. You lot have got this.
Inflation. Interrogation, inflation. How much did we pay for these pants? £18.
Yeah.
We have no money. But it's all right. Here's me thinking that I want a kid when I'm older as well, and I don't.
You'd be great. Your kid would love you,
It
man.
would.
Love you so
It would, but where are we living?
Yeah. There you go.
Where are
That's
we
what
living?
you need to decide.
I'm thinking. This is why another thing is am I going to get to a point where, I'm probably not going to have a kid for another 10 years' time once I finish my training. When I'm old.
Old? Wait a minute.
I'll be
10 years'
40.
time, you'll still be younger than what I am now.
I'll be 44.
Yeah.
But popping a kid out, and this is why I'm thinking, girl, I don't feel that even like moving out a bit.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to do that? Do I want to be in central London?
No,
and
you
I'm
don't.
like, I don't want my kid. Not only that, it's not safe at night time.
No
man.
way.
I'd much rather my 10-year-old be going out with his friends, whatever, in a park.
Yeah.
That's A, close to the house.
Yep.
B, close to the house. And
Yeah,
C, close to the house.
That's right.
And
We're just jumping on buses and tubes into central London. Forget that.
It's like, where are you, zone 4? How long are you going to be? 20 minutes. Yeah, but 20 minutes is too far away, especially on the underground.
I'm like that now. My son at 15. I'm so.
Does he travel alone?
Nah.
Mate, the door is locked. I want fingerprint on my door. Retina scanners when I'm going to be like, you're not leaving out.
But now you'll be fine, man. You'll be alright.
I will.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to take them somewhere else. I'll probably back up north, or I'll go to other
where nice people are.
Yeah, nice people.
There's so much nice muster up.
Day.
They really
When we
are.
like we'd sit on a bus, and as you get on a bus up north, you'd be like, "Hello,
Yeah, yeah.
are you okay?"
You
love?"
can't say that here.
No.
I think you're a nutter.
You have to you have to
Tunnel
interact.
vision, yeah. Otherwise, you just get on the bus, keep it down,
Yeah.
look where you go, look at your
Don't
phone,
know.
do what you're doing, don't bother no one.
You have to interact with public transport staff. up
Yes,
north.
yes. I like
You know,
that though.
So the guy still comes up to you on a tram in Sheffield and asks you what ticket you want. And he's like, "Hello," he's like, "Morning." And he's like, "What ticket would you like?" "I'd like a return to town, please. Would you like a day rider?" And I'm like, "Yeah, please."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, have a good day."
Old
Like, you
school.
too. Or someone will like come and sit next to you, and they'll hear your conversation, and
Yeah.
they'll start being like, "Oh yeah, I know such and such about this conversation." Or you're speaking about an art exhibition, and they'll just join.
join in.
They won't interrupt.
Yes.
They'll join. And this is where, as you grow up north, there is such a lovely like essence to growing up as a kid, because you get on with everything. And the second I moved down here, obviously you have to go through that phase from up north where every time you touch someone or bump into someone, you're like, sorry.
Yeah,
And then-
even just look like glimpse eyes at them
You're
accident.
done.
Yes.
A couple of years in, I'm just like, get out of here.
You blended right in.
Yeah, the tube is in 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, you
mate.
having
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 minutes? I've been stood here for 30 seconds and
Yeah,
you're waiting.
yeah.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. You're taking the piss.
And
Why is it not here now?
And then it gets stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm sorry, we're just being held here
Yeah.
for a little moment. And you're like, I'm gonna get a refund
It's true.
for this.
I'm telling you.
Or even the fact that the division of people on escalators, like to the right, walk up, to the left.
Yeah.
You run.
You run,
basically.
yeah, basically.
And if you die falling down them stairs,
That's it. You got people that step
People
right over
just
you,
step
mate.
over you, yeah.
Yeah, you're in the
people
way.
step right over you.
Somewhere to go. Got to be
And
at
then
work.
when people are stood on the left, my lord, hell have mercy upon thous that are on the left-hand side of the escalator.
Listen, mate, you might as well have a shit on the
I'm
floor.
like, the simple ways of doing it, you can either like,
Yeah,
but they've got earphones.
Or
in
they're gonna barge right past you.
They'll just, and 9 times out of 10, it's like just some Gen Z with their earphones down, like, excuse me.
Yeah. Get out of the way. Yeah.
Or what they'll do is they'll look behind and look at the queue and they go, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God.
It's mad, isn't it, mate?
Anyway, kitchen life, London, and laugh and live and loving.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's been an hour.
No way.
Yeah, it's been an hour. Been gone, talking for an hour. I'll look.
Wow,
I'll
bro.
look now. That is.
An hour.
That's an hour and 14 seconds. I know, right?
Mate, that's how I had fun, because that went so quick.
Guys, this is Richard. He's the author and co-writer of
I thought you knew my name, but
The Kitchen Chef. Illustrated by kids. It's on the wall. I watch it all the time.
he's gonna film it for you and then put the link in.
I'll go put a link down. You buy it on Amazon and you'll get
The Adventures of Cooker Man.
The Adventures of Cooker Man, written by Richard.
It is.
Available now on Amazon.
Yep. Amazon.
And it's not like mortgage price.
No.
It's only
$11.99.
$11.99, and it's a story about a cooker man that cooks food
For kids.
Tell me a bit about the book.
So basically, I've always liked to write, and I just thought, why not? Something I enjoyed doing, so I thought I'd write a kids book. So basically, it's about magical chef, who works in the nursery.
Ta-da.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But I'm writing the second one as well. But it's all right. It's something that I really enjoy doing. Like, I always like to write, but when you're young, I used to write rhymes and all, But as I got older, it's nice, helps me mentally as well. I can just zone out and just do my own thing.
You want a creative outlet as
Yeah,
well.
you need it.
This is why I'm doing this.
Yeah, you need it.
I'm new photographer here now.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Girly, I'm like, I want makeup. But yeah, you need a creative
You have
outlet.
to. It's such a help. I used to come home on my last job and do 12 hours and get home and I'd be like, I've got to be back at work in like 7.5 hours. And it was just like, you're in that chorus, it's just the same thing. And like the hamster wheel. So I started to write, so to break it up. And after that I was like, I ain't doing this no more. I'm not working these crazy hours no more.
Yeah.
It's about me now.
Get out, do some drawings.
Yeah,
and
got to
some-
do it. Because otherwise you get caught up and you realise you've done nothing for yourself. You've just paid your bills, made sure your kids are out, which is good. But you haven't got no outlet.
Work the circus.
Work
the circus.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll pop that in there. But I think that was pretty
I
nice.
enjoyed that.
We're going to say bye,
Yes, we are going to say bye.
and I'm going to stop recording, and then we're off.
Yeah, cool. I enjoyed that.
That was an
Josh, you're good
hour,
at this.
man.
I like
That was
this.
an hour. Do you know what though? Like, I think without a script, it's good. I think I just shit myself to begin with.
Yeah, to get
I think that first bit when he was walking over there was
Yeah.
like the first introductory bit was a bit
Yeah.
up and down because that felt scripted.
Yeah,
like
it
I was going on all my other episodes. But then we just went in.
We just started to chat.
We just went
I
in,
enjoyed
started
that,
to
man.
chat,
I really did.
and then